Well, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of the day it is when you're catching this. Welcome to another conversation with one of my clients. Her name is Savannah Joy, and Savannah is a voice medicine and feminine embodiment coach. And today, she's here with us today. And we're going to talk about what you guys want to know right at the beginning, like how much money did she make? And then we're going to put it in a little box and push it to the corner. And then we're going to talk about all the things that have brought this money, because I would love to say I have a perfect strategy for everybody. I'm not even that amazing, but the strategy that happens is something I don't even know if it's strategy. We're just going to let Savannah talk. Savannah, welcome.
Thank
And I introduced you, but tell us, you were like, I am a singer, but I,
you.
and then I was like, you say that.
You say it. Yeah, so I call myself the Empress of Voice Medicine. So I am an intuitive vocal channel, and words that make more sense to you is like I do sound healing and I sing melodies in the moment, and I take people on journeys through sound healing. That's a small portion of what I do, but so I'm a singer, but I help women unleash their voices in all the ways of their life. So whether you are a singer and you want to step into your artistry, or in relationship, it's speaking your desires, setting boundaries, raising your standards, asking for what you want. That is really my jam.
I love that. You know, something came to my squirrel brain. I'm so ADHD. I'm going to write it down because it doesn't belong here. But it's something that literally just came to me right now about sound and healing and crying during certain movies or a certain scene where the music, the sound really is what made it. But like I said, it doesn't belong here right now. So anyway, hopefully I'll remember.
Can't wait to hear about it.
I'll remember to talk about it because I'm like, oh my God, it just came through. So Savannah, people want to know because, right, everybody comes to me because they want to make more money. And I know that I'm great at high ticket sales, and truly, I mean, and I'm great at putting together a whole business plan. But like we've had those before. I'm sure you had those in other containers, like sell X amount at 10K. That's 100K, right? Like it's easy to put those plans together. It's not easy to implement those and be like, where am I going to get these sales from? Right. And so you've recently had $17,000 in sales in the last 40 days.
Yeah. Cash collected.
Cash collected.
Cash collected.
Cash collected. And I know you told me that's 10x what my revenue was last year.
Mm-hmm.
And when you first, you may remember this or you may not, when we first started working together, I had asked you, what'd you make last year? I think it was last year. And you were like 50 something. And then it was already the end of February. And I was like, girl, we're definitely going to make that. And we're going to go over it. When do you remember that?
Yeah.
How did you feel when I said that? Because at that moment you were like, I haven't had like great sales since January. And I've got people like coming on and leaving. How did you feel when I was like, oh, we can make that, girl, bye?
That's why I signed up with you, because I knew that was true. Okay. I know that, right? But to be in the gap of like, I know that's where I'm headed. 100% know that's where I'm headed. And also I'm not embodying the woman yet that is receiving that. And that's really that's what really inspired me to work with you, because you embody the woman that holds big money, that is a big deal, that, you know, that holds higher standards. And I could feel like what Linda embodies is what I can see as the gap for myself, because I know where I'm headed. I know what's possible for me, but I'm not experiencing it. And I could see the gap was my embodiment.
Okay. And you know what's real interesting, because I know the people that follow me are business owners, and you have a lot of people also in your audience that are business owners. So most of the people watching this are a type of mentor, facilitator, coach type of thing, consultant, right? It's important to note that I do my interviews like real meta, like I'm coaching, like I'm giving you the what happened, the psychology, the breakdown of how all the results happened. So I didn't just like attract Savannah to me from like a cold. Her and I met in a mastermind in 2020 when I hadn't even done my first 6 figures in my business, but I had already helped other people make 6 figures. And so what a journey, right? It's been some years. What I mean, obviously we know what, but for the people that are watching, like, you were saying, I want to work with you from a very long time ago. What made you say yes to working with me when you did, which was in February?
Yeah. This is so awesome. So you've been on my I have a list in my notes in my phone. I have had a list of like potential mentors that I would consider hiring next, basically. And you've been on my list for like 4 years probably. But it's never felt like the right time and in terms of my readiness. So you hold a very specific frequency. Like, you are so fire, you are so honest, you are so like, you don't put up with bullshit. You speak the truth with fire. And I honestly have had so much internal work to do around, well, lots of shit. But I knew that I wasn't in a place to fully receive your medicine. Just period. Like, I was not in a place where I would have been able to receive what you had to say to me and actually take it constructively and make the changes I needed to make. And I could feel that. I knew that. I was like, nope, I'm not ready for Linda. Like, maybe one day. And so it was really fascinating because you've been on my radar for a really long time. We've had calls before. Like you said, we've been rocking in the same circles for 5 years, 6 years, whatever. But I literally, your content started showing up in my feed a lot in like January, February. And then you were promoting this, the money masterclass, the 100K masterclass. And then I literally did a mushroom journey and you were in my mushroom journey. And it was like, literally like the mushrooms were showing me the way that you hold power and the way that you hold your confidence and the way that you create offers and like the certainty that you hold. And like, it was just so clear to me of just these qualities that you embody that I could see, like, this is what I'm missing, this level of embodiment of power. And so at that time, like, I didn't take that as like, oh, you need to hire Linda. It was just like interesting information. I was like, oh yeah, I can see this, like, clarity. And then I came to your masterclass and I was just like, oh, this is exactly what I fucking need to do.
Oh my God. You know, you've shared parts of that, but you didn't really tell me all of that till right now. I literally have goosebumps. That is wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even have words. Like, it's hard for me not to have words. All right. So then you came to the class and I did the class pretty much like how I coach. Like, right. And even during the class, someone showed up and I was just fire in the class. Do you remember?
I do.
Someone showed up and, I gave fire to everybody, but that person got more fire.
Extra.
They got extra fire. And I hope that they implemented what I gave them, because I don't give this fire to humiliate anyone or to bring them down. But you're correct. If someone is not even at a particular place with their own development, they could feel like their feelings hurt or like bump down, fuck her, and it's really interesting. I'm so glad that I asked you that question, because you were like, I had stuff that I had to work with and through in order to be able to be in your fire. And that even speaks so much to who you are as a person, because someone else would have been like, I know you're not for everybody and I just had to be ready. It could mean the same thing, but it's not. And you know me, I teach words have meaning and power. And I love how intentional you are with your words. I loved it. Now I'm going to give you this here in front of everyone in the whole audience. You were the person who, even though I had heard the word activated been used a lot, and I had used it myself, the way in which you used the word activated did something to me, and I started using it more intentionally because of you. And I know I asked you backstage, like, how do you feel about me? Because I've been in a lot of masterminds where the coach or the mentor is not up for feedback, and it's not up for receiving from the container. But I receive as much from you ladies as I give to you. How do you feel about that? Or how do you feel about that type of mentoring?
Yeah, I think it's really powerful because the difference that I really feel, because I've been in those containers versus your container, and I can feel the difference of how much you fucking care about us and our results. Like you're so involved. Like you're so fucking present. Like you are always receiving feedback from us in terms of like where we're at, what we're needing, what challenges are we facing. And so you're constantly, I can feel it. You're constantly tailoring in real time the coaching calls, the things that you send us in our group chat, like everything that you're sending, like you're tailoring because we're giving the feedback of like what we're needing, what we're struggling with, like stuff that's not landing, what we need more of, whatever it is. Like you are so available to listen and to respond. Like you're not just like going off your cookie cutter, like this is my method, and you know, this week is this topic, and this week is this topic. Like you're so present with what's actually happening in the space, which is why we're all getting such amazing results.
Thank you for saying that. And I will share 2 recent examples, one of them yours. I was like, okay, Savannah, I love this post. And also, it's weak. It's speaking to a lower level person. You're not speaking to their aspirational identity. Like, I literally have all my clients' notifications on. So if I am cooking or whatever, obviously, I'm not just going to be like, but as soon as I open up Facebook, the first people to show up in my newsfeed are my clients. I have it set up that way. I'm not on the internet consuming everyone else. Like I'm literally on your stuff. And recently, Dr. Alex had like a lot of black and white photos. And I was like, Coochie Magic is so vibrant. And it's Coochie is pink. Why are we black and white? Right? Stuff like that. And I know that the feedback was like, well, I thought it was a great ass post, Linda.
Linda.
What do I do now? I'm like, take it down, rewrite the thing, and write to the aspirational identity. But as a client, how does it feel when you got 13 likes on the post that I said sucks? And I'm like, look at everyone in the comments. Are they your clients? Have they ever paid you before? No. Yeah, it spoke to them. Take it down. How does that feel in the moment?
To be fair, you didn't say take it down. You didn't tell me what to do.
Oh, maybe that. Okay, I didn't say take it down that one. Yeah. I'm an expert at telling people to take it down. Okay, I didn't tell you to take it down. Okay.
But you did give your feedback and what you noticed, and it was totally true. And I was able to be with that. And I was just like, oh, fuck, she's totally right, you know? And so like, but it's, again, I'm at a point where I can receive that constructively. I'm not taking it personally, like, oh, she's shitting on my writing. Like, that's not it. Like, you can see my blind spots. You can see where I'm still speaking to a more disempowered version of my client instead of what's possible, which is calling them up to the aspirational identity, which is so fucking powerful. And so because I'm in a place to receive it, I was like, fuck, she's right. Made the changes, reposted it, and was like, yeah, of course. Like that was the exact changes that needed to happen. And like, that's the thing is like, it's so hands-on, like your feedback and how present you are with everybody's content and like what we're creating in our businesses, that we're actually able to pivot and refine in real time and then see the difference of the results.
Absolutely. Like currently you're at the very tail end of a 30-day challenge. You were talking about it and you started promoting it when you were out of town at a live event for someone in the industry that shares a very similar audience than yours. And did you expect for me to coach you while you were there through DM on what to do?
No, and it's so funny because I loved your perspective of like being in that like mindset of like learning and like how you say like putting your 3D glasses on of like watch how these women from stage embody their power, watch how they deliver their magic, like see how they command the room, right? Because like I know that that's the next step for me. I know that I'm stepping into more speaking engagements, more, you know, bigger events, more influence, more impact. And for you to reflect that to me and be like, while you're there, like soak it up, like look what they're doing, look how they're being. And it was such a beautiful lens to experience the event through.
Yes. And you know, my father was a commercial artist. He did signs for major companies, Texaco, Golf, Mobile, Popeyes, like big, like the Hard Rock Cafe, like big signs. So even though he wasn't into copywriting, like for a newspaper or a magazine, I grew up in a house where he created the marketing, the visuals for companies. And this is something he never taught me marketing. He never said this is marketing, but I grew up watching him do it, you know? And because I grew up with a father who did sign painting and a mom who had a beauty salon, there was a lot of aesthetic and how do you look and how do you position? And again, no one taught me these words. My parents were like, this is how we position, you know, but it comes, I want to say natural, but it was not natural. It was my environment. So I was able to say, you are there. There are people there who can be your audience. We're not their audience poaching.
No, I literally didn't talk about myself at all. Like I didn't mention anything about what I do to anybody while I was there.
Correct. So we weren't, because I respect the space. I have been to events for my coaches where their clients were like, I actually want to work with you, Melinda. And I'd been like, please don't make that decision here. I don't want this is my coach.
Please don't do that.
I don't want my coach to be like, what, you know?
No, you
I respect the space.
Yeah.
So I wasn't coaching you at all to go poach clients, but just to be all of you. And because of that, you ended up attracting at least the same amount of people who had already signed up. You doubled signups mainly because of how you showed up in that room.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. It was also a brand new offer. You were like, this is crazy. It's not high ticket, but it's like, it felt so good to you and you launched it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in the vein of marketing, because none of us are marketers. We all are just really good at what we do, but we're not marketers. We're not copywriters. And we join programs that has a copywriter that looks at our one little post and tells us if it's good. That's not really helping us, right? But I look at you, lady, at all of us from that lens, and I'm like, Savannah, you're too amazing. And your Facebook cover doesn't look like a movie poster. Like it needs to be a launch. And I think that when I first said every offer that you put out there, you need to make a big deal. It needs to have a full launch with graphics, the whole nine. And did you actually make that graphic while I was teaching that day? I think you did it while we were at the power table.
I might have.
Okay. So then when I saw you creating that so quickly, I didn't even ask you. I said, the girl has another revenue stream. I was like, Savannah, would you mind making graphics for us? You were like, no. Now, I get it that you're not turning into a graphic designer and that's not where you want to, but it was something that you were sitting on that you can monetize.
Mm-hmm.
How did that feel?
Honestly, between that and the other things that have opened up for me while I've been in this container is really like this openness to like being willing to receive money in more ways and from more channels. Because before working with you, I had kind of like put myself in this box of like, I'm going to launch my signature mastermind twice a year and it's going to be predictable and stable and da 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 da. And I'm like a really creative, multi-passionate person. And I didn't even realize how much that was cutting off my flow of receiving money, of being in my creativity and all this stuff. And so when you suggested like Savannah, you should just offer like to make graphics for the ladies in our group, and like just you could just charge this amount, whatever. And I was like, fuck it, like why not? And then money was coming in to like design these little graphics. It was super fun. And it was just like this opening in general of being able and willing to receive money from more ways. And then that's when like my 30 days of ceremony, my low ticket offer that I did for the month of May, like that came through and was like, oh my God, I haven't like felt this excited about something in a long time. But it was this openness of like, oh yeah, I can just create shit when it comes through that feels good. And I can just do that. And then, oh, look, there's another revenue stream.
Boom. It was great. I was like, and I do that all the time. I'm like, hey, I just created you an offer and I sent you a client. She's coming. It's $2,500. Just do it. I pre-sold it for you. She's coming.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Exactly. And I do. I'm like, I raise your price, and then I myself, I pay your price, like the price that I just raised it to. I love that because I love honoring women. I don't ever want to take advantage of any woman. So whenever if I create an offer for my client and it's something that I can do, I go pay for it at the price that I created it, which is insane. Someone else would be like, hey, let me get it for free, or I'm your coach, use me as an example. No, I don't like taking advantage of women, specifically my clients. So I love that. I love to, the word expansive, we use it a lot, but we are not. We think that we are, because all of my clients have been in this world, investing into their business, investing into their next level. Like none of us are newbies. And I know that because I continue to invest in masterminds. And then my coach tells me something and I'm like, I do that for my clients. Why can't I do it for myself? We just don't. So is there a particular belief or pattern that you could pinpoint, like a particular thing that you're like, I know I was doing that and now I'm not doing that? Or no, it's just kind of like a more collective, no, this is what has happened. The 18K cash collected has been a result of all these things.
I think the two big things, it's a lot of things, but a lot of it is sealing up all the places where I was like hemorrhaging energy. And so some of that was strategy and systems in my business in terms of like my client acquisition process, my pre-qualification process, really like raising the bar and creating a structure so that I'm not just having like 20 sales calls a week with people who aren't even qualified. Like that was that was one huge thing. Like, but also like hemorrhaging energy in terms of limiting beliefs about like what's possible for like where I was cutting myself off from receiving opportunities and ideas and money and clients. And I think the other big one was just like the energy that I was wasting on, here it is, like the drama of like shit happening. So
anticipation, you mean like I'm anticipating the shoe dropping or something?
There's that, but there's like when shit actually happens, like shit happens all the time to fucking everybody, right? Like, we have powerful, amazing women in our group, and like shit happens, like life is lifing, like life is always going to be lifing. And before, I was in this place where I was taking things personally. I was making them mean something about me. And so I was hemorrhaging energy on the drama of just the circumstance instead of just being like, okay, this fucking thing happened, kind of sucks, kind of annoying, but what am I going to do about it? And just being detached and neutral and just like feel the feelings and then move forward and like, don't make it mean something about you. So I feel like in all the cases, whether it's strategy or beliefs about myself or the way that I'm carrying myself in circumstances, I was just leaking so much fucking energy. And so I feel like working with you, I have really like sealed up so much of that energy. And so instead of it just like hemorrhaging out and being leaky and like, all that stuff, like I've reclaimed it and I'm holding it in myself. And when I'm holding all that energy and that power, I can be resting back in that embodiment of I'm worthy of receiving clients. I'm confident in my ability to change people's lives. I trust my ability to hold money. I trust all these things because I'm holding my energy and my power.
I love that. Yeah, because you know what? Here's two examples that come up for me from when we first started working together. There was one lady who you were promoting your mastermind, and there was one prospect, the person who slid in your DM, and she was so excited. Yes, queen. Like, yeah, I want to talk. Send me the link. And you were like, Linda, she's interested. And what do I do? And I was like, oh, I could almost like hear myself telling you to pump the brakes. Okay, she's excited. We don't even know if she belongs in the container. We have to ask more questions. Right. And so like, just like, because we get excited, we have a lead. No, we have a warm person who could be a lead. Let's ask more questions. Right. And so it turned out that she wasn't a fit. Imagine if you had sent her the link to book the call and had the call, and then we think we're about to close a call, but we're not closing a sale. So I saw that. And then when you had a situation with a client, you know, all clients are not made in heaven. And this client threatened and did things, and you weren't protected because you didn't have certain systems in place. And people think that because Linda is so direct and she's able to hold the power, that she could just say things and she doesn't feel. I feel bad breaking bad news to my clients because there was nothing I could tell you. I was like, Savannah, unfortunately, that's going to happen. I wish there was a magical, like, we'll do this now to prevent that. Like there was there was nothing. And the work that you needed to do, I couldn't even coach you through that. And you needed to learn to release. And as soon as you did that, what happened? Because she went away. And if you want to talk about it, you can. I don't want to disclose it, because it's your business. But what happened. And then as soon as you released that, because even if you hadn't released it, it happened anyway. But energetically, you were like,
energetically, I released attachment to the outcome. I released from the drama. I released from the fear of what's going to happen. And when I did that, I called in, like, magnetized an incredible new client into my mastermind who I adore. And that was really like a turning point in my business, of just like more magnetism, more ease, more people coming in. 50 people signed up for my 30 days of ceremony. I just received a pay in full client for my mastermind. Like, it's just like so much more flow because I needed to experience that unfortunate experience to create more structures and systems and contracts and things in place to protect me as I step into this next level of embodiment of this next level of my business. And so it truly did create so much space. Even though it was challenging, it was totally for me. It was 100% what I needed to experience. And I've opened up to receive so much more since releasing the drama and the fear around that, situation.
Yeah. And I mean, it's been, I don't want to sound corny. It literally has been a joy to watch you evolve. And like we said in the green room before we started, like this is just the beginning, right?
Yeah.
There's like this big evolution. Everyone knows, well, the people that know you, right? The people that know you that you are, you do voice medicine, you do sound healing, like they know you in the spiritual world. I'm not gonna make fun. You're like, Linda, I love it when you make fun of us. Or you try to talk like, I don't make fun. It's just that I'm funny. Because I rock with it very hard. I mean, we met in a container where the coach was very spiritual and woo, right? But I'm not known on the internet streets as a spiritual and woo. I'm actually known as a rebel against all the broke Christians. and all this stuff. It's really interesting because some people will be like, some people who are very intuitive are like, well, I only want to work with this other coach that is just like me. What, how does the person who is very spiritual, intuitive choose the logical Linda who doesn't lead with spirituality? But man, I'm super intuitive, but you know what I mean.
Very,
I
I
don't
do.
lead
I know
with that in
exactly
my
what you mean.
business.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that your fire and your no bullshit approach was exactly the piece that was missing for me. Like I got the feminine embodiment down, right? I'm very balanced in my masculine and my feminine energies. I'm very tapped into my intuition. Like I've been in plenty of programs where it's like, here's the strategy, do this. And it's just like, at the end of the day, it really is, what do I know to be true? And so like, I don't need a spiritual mentor or coach to just like affirm me or like I want to be challenged. Like I can see like clearly I'm in a place where I need someone to call out my blind spots. I need someone to show me other ways to be successful, because I mean, I didn't have a coach for several months before I hired you. So I was in a place of not having mentorship, and it fucking showed big time. And I knew that you had some magic sauce that I needed in my life. Like,
I love that. And you know what? It's true for me as well. In the opposite, I just let you ladies know in the power table, I just hired a mentor from the UK. She's super woo, super showing her butt all over the internet, like super feminine dance, jiggle, like what? And I know that people pay us. You pay me, I pay people, people pay you. They pay us for who they become when they work with us.
Yeah.
And like you said, I already done all the strategy, and that wasn't it, even though there is strategy to all of this.
Yes.
I want to touch real quick on Sales Dominatrix, because Sales Dominatrix is something that I launched this year, knowing that what I do, the biggest thing I do for my clients is take them from being a strong woman. Every single one of my clients has been through so much that someone else in their shoes would be on antidepressants forever. Like they have overcome the most toxic relationships, narcissist men, abusive parents, like sexual abuse, physical, all sorts of things. So my clients are strong women. And I discovered maybe, I want to say about 9 months ago, I started playing with this. Strength is not power. Strong women are literally just surviving at another level, and they make it look like they're like, it's great, it's easy. Like Neo has a song that's called Champagne Life, and he goes, in my designer shoes, I make this look easy. Sexy baby. That's how we do it. Like in this background, in this chair, I make it look easy. I have months where I'm like, I need sales. Like it just looks easy, but strong women are always in this, we don't even realize it, that is this, it's like we're always in crisis mode. We're always expecting the shoe to drop. Like, what now? Something is going to happen. Like we're never, and it's like a lifelong season. Is it a season? It's a lifelong thing of crisis mode, of putting out fires, of if it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong. And I'm here for it because I'm strong.
Right.
All of my clients, that when their money shifts is when they go from strong to powerful. And I know that we didn't describe it that way, but that's where what you were saying when you said, I went from constantly being in the drama to being able to go through it and release, not make it mean anything about me. Like truly hold your power. And Sales Dominatrix is a cheeky play on, my alter ego. She's always been a dominatrix, and she probably is not really my alter ego. She's really me. I love her. And how has Sales Dominatrix, because I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this, but how do you see Sales Dominatrix have, like, what's the role that sales dominatrix has played in all these results that you have seen?
So much. The sales dominatrix has truly helped me to embody a totally different energy in my content, in my sales process, like on my sales calls, and like any of my interactions with prospects or potential clients. And like the most clear, easy way I can demonstrate that is like before sales dominatrix, it was a much more like leaned in, like reaching energy of like almost like a neediness or like trying to get something. Like I need to get a client, I need to get sales, or like this like that kind of energy. And sales dominatrix has helped me really like lean back and just be like, yeah, do you want this? Like, are you ready? Because this shit is going to rock your fucking world. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need this sale. I don't need a client. Like, I'm ready to receive you if you're ready to do the work, if this is actually aligned fit for both of us. And just like, I can just feel in my body just saying that right now, how relaxed I feel and how unattached I feel. And it's just like, I feel so powerful and so grounded that I don't need anything outside of myself, that I am actually embodied in my magnetism and my worthiness. And like, that is the biggest shift that I've felt.
Man, Savannah, that I didn't even know what you're going to say, because I wrote it down when you were talking. I was like, "Ooh, power, sales dominatrix." I need to ask a question about that. You do a particular, correct me if I'm using the wrong wording. Like, what was the thing I said today? Trust your voice, or what?
Yeah,
You're like, that's not the name of my offer, but okay.
but it's fine.
What is the name of the practice that you do with the women, like the tying? What is that called?
Oh,
With the
shibari.
rope. What's it called?
Shibari.
Shibari. Shibari tying. Shibari what? Shibari.
Just shibari.
Oh, just shibari. Okay.
Yeah.
From my perspective, because I've never done it, obviously I don't even know what it's called. I had to ask you again to help me. When I saw you, because all I see is the reels and some pictures, and I'm like, she's doing the thing, because you also show up in my feed, right? Just before you hired me. So when I saw you doing that, I was like, well, that kind of looks like she's teaching women how to just like let go and trust, because you're not tying me up. And you're like, oh, Linda, you got to come to one of my retreats. I'm tying you up. Yeah. Because I am like, oh, hell no. I got to release all control. I got to trust that you're actually going to take care of me while I'm tied up or whatever, right? That is scary to me. Linda, this Linda right now is still telling you that. But from a coach perspective, I was like, she teaches women to let go. And if you're letting go, there's an agreement of your clients that I'm okay with the shibari. I'm okay. Like, you're not going to tie people up that came to that didn't know that this is what they were getting themselves into. So whenever I was teaching sales dominatrix, it was really interesting to me how, even though you taught something along the same lines of two people have to be in agreement with this, because you know how to create scenes, right? That same psychology applies to sales. And it didn't come naturally to you to think that, like, two people enter a sales conversation, they both want to be here. One of them really wants this. The other one is like, can you handle it though?
Mm-hmm.
The other one is like, I really, really want it. Okay, when you pay me, these are the expectations. Just like a scene, right? Because in the dominatrix relationship with the sub, she's not doing something to the person that they don't want done. There's rules to this. And so literally the person that's the sub has a lot of power. We spoke about this on your interview. But I was like, that came to me and I was like, that was the basis of sales dominatrix. That was the foundation. I'm like, oh, I need to teach these girls this. Just like, you want this? Are you ready? And you're going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to do the work?
Yeah.
And I just love how you explained that right now. But it was very interesting to me that I was thinking, oh, she gets this because she does shibari.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't land for you that way just because you did shibari. Because shibari is
Right.
not really, I don't think it's a dominatrix sub thing, even though the other person has to trust,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So when a lot of people think sales dominatrix, and of course, dominatrix is very triggering, or what's the word? That's not triggering. It's polarizing or whatever,
Polarizing.
sexual. But has it been sexual?
It's been very sensual,
Yeah, but
flirty, and fun and powerful.
and powerful. So now that you're showing up as in your power versus strength, because I heard you say before, I was showing up in this like almost like needy energy. It's almost like, choose me, pick me. Here's why you need to hire me. Here's what you need to hire me. And like every single post, and it's not even your fault because we're in this industry. And it's like, this is for you. If hire me, if right. And that just seemed to be like the same call to action that everyone has. And now it's like, you want this. And we trust that we are doing what we need to do, which is be visible and then not be scared to also do outreach, because I don't teach masculine DM tactics. How do you feel about those now? Because I'm not opposed to you go getting someone that belongs in your space and sending
Right.
them a sincere voice clip. How
Right.
does that feel? Obviously it's feminine sales, but compared to other things that other coaches have taught, even women,
Mm-hmm.
because women teach very masculine DM tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
feel really douchey to me.
It's never felt good for me. And I think the subtle discernment of that, because you can go like full end of either spectrum. You can go like, I'm never gonna cold DM anyone, I'm never gonna
Right.
message anyone, I'm only gonna be magnetic and receive people reaching out to me. Okay, let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
And then also you can be like super masculine, like cold DMing everyone. Good luck.
Yeah.
And
Right.
what I've found is this middle place of discernment of like what actually feels aligned and who is actually like engaging with you and is in your field and feels like you can feel like they're commenting, they're liking, they're replying to your stories, like they're clearly like into what you're saying, like there's connection, there's desire there. And so for my 30 days of ceremony, I had quite a few people that just like signed up with no outreach. And then it felt aligned to me. I was like, yeah, there's quite a few people that have been wanting to join something of my offerings, but they just haven't yet. And I was like, I'm just going to let them know that I'm doing this thing. Hey, I'm doing this thing. Here's a quick little, thing of like what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If it feels aligned and you want the link, let me know and I'll send it over. Like done. And like so unattached. And like a bunch of people were like, oh no, I haven't seen this, but it sounds really great. Yeah, definitely send me the link.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The algorithm is real. And the algorithm on Facebook specifically wants you to pay. Every time we post, we think that our people are seeing it. They're not. Facebook is on purpose, not putting it in front of your people. So, like you said, if it feels aligned and it's a warm person, we're not doing cold outreach. And at the same time, if you're watching this, like I said, you're probably a business owner. You do some type of service that you sell online. I teach sales calls because the average woman that comes to me truly doesn't know how to sell. But me right now, I don't like sales calls. I like to have conversations in the DM where I pre-qualify you. I feel really amazing. And then, hey, it's 30,000. Do you want a payment plan or do you want a link for pay in full? Like that. And so that happens when you feel really so comfortable and confident that your copy is attracting, it's converting. And for those of you that are thinking, when should I run ads? When your organic stuff is converting. Because we can't run ads to something that's not converting. Throwing money at it is not going to make it convert. So I love taking my clients through this. You got to get comfortable receiving receiving, because money has this masculine energy, right? Like it makes us feel safe, like a man does, and all those other things. And if we haven't had safety with men, hell, some of us didn't even have a dad. And then it's like, I don't wonder why my clients are amazing at what they do and they're not amazing at sales. Like somewhere online, people are like, why aren't you making money? You're really good at what you do. Really?
Not the same thing.
Not the same thing. So I love, I really, I don't want to sound corny, but it really has been a wonderful joy for me to watch you bloom, because I always say, like, if you're a little bit too old to be my kid, you're still my kid, but I think you're still within age range to be my kid. I have a 36-year-old.
I'm turning 36 next week, so
You could be my kid. What is one, and I love watching you bloom as a business owner, and I'm not saying this to blow smoke in your face. Like, I mean this. I've said this to you before, but I'm going to say it in front of everyone. If I knew what you know at your age, if I had money to invest in myself when I was your age, I would be freaking Oprah right now. Like, I figured this shit out 5 years ago. You are on your worst day, in your worst sales month, Savannah. You're doing better than everybody who has a damn job, and better than anybody in this industry, because a lot of people just have cute photo shoot pictures and they're making no money. I know, because they try to book calls with me. And, and I know that's kind of funny. And I'm not saying this to be
No,
mean.
it's funny because it's true. It's funny because it's true. And we've all had that period.
Bro, I literally had a sales call last December with a woman whose tagline on Facebook was like, I help you make 50K months. So she had a call and she said some things. Now, this is right here. This is just free coaching for everybody who's listening, because this had nothing to do with Savannah. But my squirrel brain went there. And on the call, she said, girl, I need you. And that is the biggest red flag. You know how there's red flags when you're dating? I have red flags when people say, I need you. If you need me, I'm not the coach for you. Because if you need me, that means you're in a place where you need a miracle. And I know I'm amazing, but I'm not Jesus. Only Jesus can do miracles. So I asked more questions. How much money did you make in sales last year? And she was like, I'm so embarrassed to tell you. I'm like, well, you got to tell me, because I can't diagnose what's happening if you don't tell me. $5,000. Wait a minute. $5,000 in sales for the whole year? What were you selling to people to make $50,000 months? Did the one person that paid you $5K, did they make $50,000 months? No. But she's working with all these bro coaches. And they're like, teach that because you could teach that. The internet is so full of that. And really, if women just felt safe staying, Linda, I don't know what you got for 10,000, but tell me that you have something for 10,000, because I need you and all I got to send. Damn, I can work with that. Let's get you on a VIP day. Like, let's get the momentum. But you selling of results that you've never even walked someone through, it's crazy. And so I'm so glad that that's not my clients. It's not you. You truly, that's why I said, on your worst day and your worst month, hell, if you stop making money this year, which you will not, if you stop making money right now, you're doing better than the person that sells 50K months. You're amazing. Really. Do not ever, because we have ups and downs in business, and we're really solopreneurs. Like, for us to even make thousands of dollars, for one person to pay us thousands of dollars for what's in here, that's insane.
Yeah.
And we beat ourselves up like, I need more. You're doing great. I'm literally not blowing smoke. I'm just telling you.
No, I feel it. I feel it. I know
how
much you believe in me and see me. And yeah.
I think we may have covered this. Is there anything that surprised you about me when you started working with me, or no? Or something that you were like, wow, I didn't know that.
You surprise me every day, Linda.
Linda, you're a Pandora's box.
You are. I love it so much.
I do use a lot of sexual analogies. I'm off the chain.
You're off the chain. You're so fire, Linda. Every day something comes out of your mouth and I'm like cracking up, like listening to your audio transmissions. And I'm like, oh my God, so good.
Dang, now people are going to be like, what is it though, Savannah? You should have told us. If you had to sum up your experience so far in one word, I don't know.
Feels like remembering. Yeah.
That's so, I'm about to use a Savannah phrase. That's so good. Let me tell you why that's so good though. Now we're going to be serious because Savannah uses a lot of spiritual terms and I use a lot of biblical terms. It's the same. It's the same. Savannah literally said it's a remembering. And today, when we get off this, I will be teasing a brand new offer. It came through and it is an annual thing and it's called Mirror. And it's a brand new thing that I have. And it is, you don't have to be a business owner. You just have to be a woman that wants more. And the name is Mirror because you're going to remember the woman in the mirror is the one that's taking you to where you're going next.
That's it.
And I'm like, she did not say remembering. That's so on point. It's such a confirmation of me being able to launch this thing today. So I love it. Is there anything that you had in your mind? You're like, I want to say this. I want to talk about this that I didn't ask you about that you would just want to share, even if it's something about your business or anything that we didn't cover that you're like, oh, I wanted to share this, Linda.
Nope. I think we did it. Good. So powerful.
What would you say to someone that's like, oh, I was thinking of working with Linda too. I was kind of scared of her or whatever they're thinking.
You should be scared. No, Linda. Yeah, Linda, you're literally the most loving, powerful cheerleader. You care so much and it's so felt. And you know how to deliver what needs to be said. Like, you know when to bring the like in your face, raw truth, like unfiltered fire. And you also know when to be like sweet, empathetic mama bear. And it's like, you always deliver it with love and you know exactly how to deliver it. And so I would just say, if you've considered working with Linda and you feel drawn to her energy, you feel drawn to like if you want to even embody like 10% of the fire that Linda embodies and like that's calling you forward, because that was for me. Like, I was like, I'm never going to be Linda, but I want like some of that. I want to call out some portion of that part of me to come out to play. And it has in my way. And so if someone's considering that and feels drawn to you and can feel that pull, like this is the best decision I've definitely fucking made. Like, so powerful.
Oh, I love you. That is so sweet. And thank you. I received that and I accept that. And yes, there are times that I give it raw and there's times that I come with my sword ready to stab someone for my babies. Like, I am like on your team. Like, what?
Yeah.
And I love that. You have an offer, you have something happening, an invitation to make. Is it tonight or is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay. We're going to put the link in the comments, but talk about it. Let us know what it is. What's the outcome and what can we expect in it?
So Linda calls it the Trust Your Voice class. It's actually called Off Script Oracle. So this master class is an experience and it's an activation of remembering. It's a remembering to trust your voice, to really it's really for facilitators, coaches, healers, service providers that are wanting to release this need for like over preparing and like writing out every note and everything you want to say for your masterclass or for your retreat or your workshop. And instead creating a container and an outline, but allowing yourself to be able to flow in the moment. So what I have become really good at is getting out of the way and trusting my channel, really embodying the Oracle archetype. And we can all tap into the wisdom of the Oracle. And it really is this energy of opening up your channel and allowing yourself to be a vessel for truth to flow through, right? Like if you've been in your industry and your business for a while, like you're a master at what you do. You fucking know what you're talking about. You embody the work, you do the work. Like that's not the issue. But for you to show up in your offerings, in your leadership and release this fear of like getting it right or like doing it right or being perfect or like afraid you're going to say the wrong thing, like that's an embodiment issue. That's not a knowledge issue, right? And so this class is really about dropping into trust of your embodiment of the work, of the medicine that you teach, that you facilitate. And it's becoming the channel and allowing yourself to channel in the moment, to trust your voice, to trust your transmissions. So Off Script Oracle, it's a masterclass, 10 a.m. tomorrow, May 29th. Pacific, and it's $47, and you can get access to the replay afterwards. But this is really going to show you where are you getting in your own way of being an even more powerful facilitator and leader because you're trying to get it right or be perfect.
I love it. $47. They get the replay if they can't attend. Is there going to be like any hot seat coaching or any open for questions?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love it. So I'm not going to say what she said. Get in there because you belong in there. The link will be in the comments. You can find Savannah Joy. She'll be tagged. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram. She has a wonderful podcast. Talk about it here as well.
Yeah, the Embrace Your Wild podcast. We have super juicy conversations like this with other feminine and masculine leaders around trusting your voice, embodying, your body wisdom, pleasure, sex, relationships. Like it really is feminine leadership podcast.
I love that. Anything else? Anything else you'd like to share? No? Well, my beautiful ladies and awesome gentlemen, if you're watching, thank you so much for giving us your time. We know that it's more valuable than $10,000 because you can go make $10,000, but you cannot get back an hour of your time that you've given us today. And I hope that we gave you an amazing exchange of that time, that the value that we dropped here, you can implement in your life. You can implement something from something that Savannah said or something that I said, and it can give you a bigger ROI than the 58 minutes that you spent with us today. I love you. Thank you for watching, and until next time.